A regular board meeting of the Board of Education of St. Peter Public Schools was held Monday, December 15th, 2014, beginning at 6:30 p.m. in the Governor's Room and Community Center. Members present were Fitch, Meeks, Dixon, Carlsbud, Carlson, Potts, and Leonard. Also present were Superintendent Peterson, members of the administration, and members of the public. The board got underway by calling the meeting to order, and then there was a consideration and adoption of the agenda with a revision. Consider requests to speak on the agenda. There were none. The meeting started the Truth in Taxation presentation in regard to the referendum. Business manager Tim Rigner presented information on the proposed tax levy for 2015. His presentation included a 10-year levy history, levy spreadsheet showing various levy categories, the 2014-15 budget, and a review of the levy page to be considered for adoption later in the meeting. There were approval of consent agenda items. Those items were approval of the regular meeting board minutes of November 17, 2014, approval of bills which totaled $1,166,602.65 and wire transfers of $1,118,801.45 for November. In personnel, there was the acceptance of the resignation of a special education paraprofessional at South Elementary ELC, Abdi Farah, effective November 26, 2014. The approval of the hiring of a 6-hour-a-day special education paraprofessional, Sarah Sharpen, at South Elementary ELC, effective November 14, 2014. This is a replacement position. The approval of the hiring of a 6.5-hour-a-day special education paraprofessional, Tom Wolf, at the middle and high school, effective December 3rd, 2015. This is also a replacement position. The approval of the hiring of a 6.5-hour-a-day special education paraprofessional, Miklos Rasa, at the middle high school, effective December 3rd, 2014. This is a new position due to a student's individual education plan. The acceptance of the resignation of a special education paraprofessional at the middle and high school, Douglas Boyer, effective December 5th, 2014. And finally, the acceptance of the resignation of an early childhood special education paraprofessional, Vicki Wilner, at South Elementary ELC, effective December 18th, 2014. And under Student Spotlight, the student of the month for December was Halla Donche Lindell. Middle and high school principal Paul Primsberger introduced Halla and asked her to speak about her coursework, co-curricular activities, accomplishments, and her future plans. Halla is the daughter of James Donchi and Laura Lindell. In the Student Council report, Ellen Ide reported on student council activities since last meeting, highlighted the Instagram challenge, ugly sweater, door decorating, and coloring contests, upcoming candy grams as well. And under the action items, Carl Myers of Ebdo Ecken Myers submitted a report updating the Board of Education on the school district's fund balances as of June 30th, 2014. Mr. Myers provided an analysis on various parts of the audit, including audit results, financial highlights, general fund budget summary, food service fund budget summary, community service fund budget summary, fund balances, operating funds, expenditures and ratios, net operating fund balance, operating expenditures, and UFARS fund balance analysis. A meeting of the Finance Committee was held on Tuesday, December 9th, 2014 to review a report on the audit and time to ask detailed questions of Mr. Myers. A resolution was made and passed unanimously. Next was approval of certification of school district levy for taxes payable in 2015. A motion by Meeks, seconded by Carlson, to approve the certification of the school district levy for taxes payable in 2015 in the amount of $3,384,352. That would be a 3.17% fiscal year increase. With all members voting aye, the motion carried. Next was an approval of a revised fund balance goal for 2014-2015. Board Policy 004.13, Managing the Fund Balance Process, requires that the Board of Education approve a targeted fund balance reserve on an annual basis. The undesignated amount should be based on recommendations from the school district auditor, the school district administration, and the school board's finance committee. At its December 9th, 2014 meeting, the Finance Committee recommended that the board revise its goal to 34 days. Meeks and Leonard made the motion and it carried unanimously. The board will establish its fiscal year 2016 fund balance goal in early 2015. Next was the resolution authorizing the school district to seek voter approval on March 10th, 2015 for the issuance of school building bonds. For over 2 years, St. Peter Public Schools has been involved in a long-range comprehensive facility planning process to determine school district facility needs and solutions that will serve future generations of St. Peter students and families. The planning process has included a demographic study, the establishment of a community task force, community surveys, Sheriff, and an ongoing analysis of enrollment projections, facility capacity and adequacy, and the school district's financial standing. This process included students, parents, community members, faculty and staff, school district administration, the Board of Education, and experts in the fields of architecture, construction management, financial, and educational planning. At the December 8th board study session, members discussed community input over the past 2 months, bond referendum financial information, the recommended scope and cost of the projects associated with the project, and a sample ballot question in the amount of $58,595,000 to be placed on the ballot on March 10th. The motion was made by Meeks, seconded by Carlson, to approve the following resolution, and that would be the resolution authorizing the school district to seek voter approval on March 10th for the issuance of school building bonds. Upon roll call, following members voting aye: Fitch, Meeks, Dixon, Carlson, Potts, Leonard. None voting nay. Resolution passed and declared adopted. Finally, the board considered approval of middle school academic pentathlon. Academic pentathlon is a new activity offered to students in the state of Minnesota. It is the middle school equivalent of academic decathlon, a senior high academic enrichment program offered at St. Peter High School. The school district's Minnesota State High School League Advisory Committee recommends the program. The co-curricular committee also passed a recommendation at their December 10th meeting. Carlson and Fitch were the motion makers, and it was approved for the adoption of a middle school academic pentathlon beginning second semester. The building principals from South Elementary, North Intermediate, and St. Peter High School all submitted reports to the Board of Education on Monday, December 15th. South Elementary ELC Principal Doreen Olke updated board members on events that have taken place in the past month, highlighting parent-teacher conferences, the Mighty Miller program, Cox House visits, Giving Tree, and food drive. North Intermediate Principal Darren Doherty listed the upcoming winter concerts at North and Basket Bonanza, North Star Assembly, OLPA testing, and the STEM programming, or STEM. Middle and High School Principal Paul Preemsberger spoke about the world's best workforce, the December early release meetings, first responders demonstration, and the meeting of PLCs. He also extended a thank you from the staff to the board in regards to the addition of the .5 EL position from the November meeting.